Greetings, welcome back to PinkOddBird. Today we are going to take a look at these Flowish journals that I made. They're filled to the brim with all kinds of fun ephemera and things for you to use, and I made these live actually with you guys the other day. So thanks to everyone who hung out with me on the live. So the first one that I have here is this one, and they all have about 20 pages flat in them plus tons of ephemera. This one is just like a beaded cover, shape of a cross, and then they'll all have an additional ephemera pack that comes with them because I just have so much stuff, and so I just wanted to include more. This one here is cardstock, so it's just two pieces of cardstock together as the cover, and then the last one is chipboard, and then I covered it up with this really cool wallpaper that I have. And actually the same wallpaper that I used for this cover, I will be giving everyone who gets one of these books a really large piece of this wallpaper because I have tons of it, and it's actually a really cool wallpaper. It's like gray and it has birds and trees, and what's really cool is it has like sort of like I want to say glitter or something kind of like embossed or shiny elements on it too, like some of the butterflies are shiny and glittery. So anyway, it's a really cool wallpaper, so I'll be including some of that, and I will have to fold it obviously because it's pretty big, so that will also be coming with each one of these books. Alright, let me show you what's in one of these. I'm just going to show one because all of the elements are extremely similar to what's in this little bundle here. So just for the sake of time, quickly I will show you that I'll have a bunch of little tags, and a button packet will be included as well. And then I've got a lot of little fun pieces. There's some of my scraps. There's a piece of lace there, there's some chipboard pieces, there's some really cool pieces that I can share because I have so much from Your Creative Studio, who's Amanda. So I included some of the little elements from a couple of the boxes that I got from her, like these washi stickers, really cool, and just some fun pieces for, you know, use in your journal spreads and things like that. And then just a little variety, small sampling of some of my scraps, which I have an abundance of. So those are the little packets, and I'll just randomly be throwing one in whenever I pack up these books to have them shipped out. So, little disclaimer. Alright, so that's that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at one of these books, and like I said, I'll show it to you a little bit more thoroughly on the first one. The others are very similar. So this one is the cardstock cover. They all have some like pink ribbon that I used, and then also like a good amount of some blue lace, and then tied with blue sari silk. And then, as you know, these are Flowish Journals, so basically it's kind of like a supply book. They are not bound, so I just have them tied with those ribbons and lace. So alright, so I'm just going to do a quick little flip through here. Lots of little pieces, memo papers, address book papers, real vintage ephemera there from 1964, stationery, 1970s recipe cards and button cards also, and I used some little bird book pages that I have there as well, a variety of different types of papers, some doilies, and also I have included little snippets of fabric in here. And this is really cool because you can use you know, these elements because you may not have some of these in your own stash. So when you're creating, you can turn to a book like this and just pull from it, especially because this one isn't themed. There's some Star Wars fabric. This is just really an eclectic flowish book where it's a mishmash of different things. There's some wallpaper, ribbon, there's the center of the book. Alright, so moving into the second half of the book, we have more vintage plant cards, vintage recipe cards. This bag, I didn't cut it, so you can still pull it out and use it as an actual bag if you want to. And like I said, like none of these pages are bound in, so you're actually able to pull some of these pages out and use the pages in other books, not just the stuff that I've attached in with paper clips. Like you can take everything out and use it somewhere else until it's all gone, or you know, you can really do whatever you want. So I have this little wooden unicorn piece that I included in there, some more ribbon, and more vintage ephemera from 1964. There's vintage book pages in here as well. Just a little smattering of everything so that you can try and, you know, pull from this book, especially since it's eclectic, so there's no real like rhyme or reason to it. And then we have a pocket here in the back on this one. So that is the end of this one. And like I said, the others are extremely similar, so I will flip through quickly. There may be some papers that differ here and there, but for the most part they're very similar. So let's take a quick look at the other two. All right, so on the next one, this one, the cover is this really cool, like, I don't know, it's like a beaded piece. And if you take a look at it in its like full extension, it's like a cross. But I thought that it was really pretty because it looks like it was watercolor splattered, but it's beaded. So really, really cool. Shout out to Alina for the good suggestion that she had on this one to put a bigger piece of cardstock to keep the beaded thing from not bending. So she gave me that little tip when we were on the live. So woot woot. All right, so we got wallpaper in here. Again, just very similar elements, and I'm just gonna flip through and let you see what's in here. All right, so moving into the last one here, this is the one that's covered with the wallpaper. And on this one, I loaded it down with a lot of lace for the closure on this one. And I did that because the chipboard on this one was kind of thick, and then it's like covered with wallpaper, and then there's like velvet pockets on the inside. So I'm like, okay, this is getting too thick. So here's the cover. And again, I'm using some of that wallpaper that I will share with all of you. And I really like the way the outside of this cover turned out. And I was trying not to pull too many other like elements to create these. So what I did was I just used one big piece of wallpaper. So I have seams that are like this, and then, you know, stuff like that. But I just put a big velvet pocket across, and I made it a really big pocket so that it would kind of cover up some of the whoopsie daisies. So anyway, here is the inside of this one. And like I said before, it's very, very similar to the others. You've got a lot of the same elements, vintage cards, vintage this, vintage that. So and a good mixture of stuff, papers that are not vintage as well. So I think you get the idea on that. It's very, very similar. It also has the little additional ephemera bundle, and those are the three. Friends, so those are the three Flowish journals. These are all going to be listed up in my Etsy shop, and they'll be there until they're not. So info is in the description box, and that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned, because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.